Welcome to this live stream. You might be joining in the morning, you could be joining in the evening or in the afternoon. Why don't you let me know what part of the world you're joining from? Let me know your city, your country, what part of the world you're tuning in today from. We always get people from every part of this globe, from all the way at the top of North America, all the way down through the South American countries, across the Pacific, through Europe, and down here to Australia. I love connecting with you. I love hearing from you and knowing what part of the world you're joining from. Did you catch the title of the live stream? 3 magic words. 3 magic words. What are those magic words? In the comments, you can perhaps let me know what you think they may be. When these 3 magic words are impressed and applied to our life, my experience has been they vastly change and transform one's life. I'm going to be showing you how. If you are ready to manifest your reality, if you're ready to step down from the breakdown to the breakthrough, I want you to stay tuned. Where have we got people joining from in the live? Before we get into the specifics of this live today, I want to hear from you. I want to hear what part of the world. Aaron, what part of the world do we have people joining from? We've got Melbourne, Sydney, we have New York. Amazing. We've got people joining from all around the globe. I love that we can do this live. Often we do these on Instagram as well. If you're not following on Instagram, it's Paul Williams Official as well on Instagram. I try to do as many live streams as possible. I love the energy of live. I love when you interact with me. I love when you bring your questions and we can have interactions in real time. Before I get in to the subject of the message, I want to read this quote that I read this morning. Everything is an inside job. Isn't it great to know that we cannot control the world from the outside? To change the world, to change your whole life, all you have to do is manage your thoughts, and this is important, and your feelings on the inside of you, and then everything will change. Most of us are conditioned from a really young age to seek externally everything, from happiness to love to joy to peace to abundance. And yet all of the great wisdom traditions and great masters over the centuries have shared with us this great secret, that everything that we seek can only be tapped into within, accessed within. I'm going to take that one step further. If you want happiness in your life, you have to create happiness for yourself. If you want love in your life, you have to create love in your life. Where does love come from? This is a good thing to give our attention to. Where does love come from? It comes from us, don't we? It comes from a loved one. It emanates from the inside and then it manifests it into the world. We create love like we create abundance. We create abundance like we create perfect health. It isn't so much that our thoughts are powerful, although they become powerful. It is that we are powerful, and what we give our attention to, endowed with our essence, becomes powerful. Yeah, but, I hear some people say, I'm not living the life that I desire, that I want. You don't get what you want. You get what you believe. Do you really believe those few affirmations that you perhaps uttered and wanted to manifest? If you don't truly believe it, you're not going to see it. This is where manifestation stops for many people. We've got to believe it to receive it. It's not just saying affirmations. It's not just reading a great spiritual book. It is a lifestyle. It is becoming. How do you get good at anything in life? Consistency, practice, becoming familiar with the thing. It is only through that consistency, eventually believing, because what is belief? Belief is simply ideas or thoughts that you have accepted to be true for yourself. Any belief can be changed. What you give your attention to, what you give your focus to, expands. Eventually, you will accept that as true. Now, your subconscious mind does not know the difference when you visualize. Obviously, the conscious mind does, but your subconscious mind does not know the difference between when you visualize something and when you experience something. It's a profound insight to realize this truth. Because if we can convince the subconscious mind that creates our world, that creates our reality, then we can experience out there a very different reality. But first, you have to impress upon the subconscious until you accept, and this subconscious accepts it as so. That's why people with habits that I work through in hypnosis repeat and repeat through the process of neuroplasticity, that pre-wiring, the precognition of their mind, is that their life experience has dictated a subconscious belief. That subconscious belief eventually becomes their lived experience. If you are powerful enough to create illness in your body, you are powerful enough to change it through your thoughts, your beliefs. Yeah, but I don't believe I can be well. And that is exactly what you will create for yourself. This is why our beliefs are so important. What are your subconscious beliefs? What do you believe about your health? Do you believe in abundant health? Do you believe that you can live in a healthy body without disease, without chronic ailments, without hereditary patterns coming down from generation to generation? Do you believe you can create a healthy vehicle, a healthy body to live in? I know I am. I know I'm creating that. Do you believe that you live in an abundant universe? Or is the universe that you live in limited? Is it finite? In the universe in which you occupy, is there enough for all? Or is there a limited supply? These are all of the thoughts that we have subconsciously that will make up what we believe about life. Here's another common one for people. They believe if life is going in a positive direction, it's too good to be true. And when things are going so well for them, they believe subconsciously it's too good to be true. Therefore, something bad is inevitably going to happen to them. What is it that you believe about yourself? What is it that you believe about your future? Are you an optimist? Do you believe the world is headed in a positive trajectory? Or are you thinking about all of the ways in which the world is descending into more unconsciousness, more war, more suffering? I think it's really important to be very clear about what we believe, because what we believe is going to become our reality. My teacher taught me this great quote years ago. If we don't like the way our life is playing out, if we don't like the narrative or the script of our life, we have the power to change it anytime we want. Because we're writing the script as it goes along. You are never stuck in a pattern. And suffering, I've come to experience, is a choice. Because it's not events in life that make us suffer, it's our thoughts about the events that cause the suffering. This is why you can have two people experiencing the same set of circumstances in life. One is in peace and acceptance, and the other one is in suffering. I've witnessed this with people with chronic issues, terminal illnesses, where one succumbs to the illness, the other uses the power of their mind, power of their thoughts to make themselves well. This phenomenon can be observed now and is studied now in the world of medicine. It's commonly referred to those that have instant remissions. It's kind of the label that the mainstream likes to give it. And I've seen these people instantly manifest health in their body, regardless of what the statistics said. Say after me, I'm not a statistic. I am not a statistic. I create my reality. Those that criticize and are negative toward this message, you also, through negativity, will create your reality. No one is not manifesting. No one is not creating. We all do it. This is the largest misconception when it comes to manifestation, is that some are doing it and others are not. We are all manifesting. We are all creating. We're either doing it intentionally, we're doing it with purpose and direction, or we're allowing like a computer program. In science, it's referred to as neuroplasticity. All of the hardwired thoughts and beliefs to play out a program. And if someone does not actively try to rewrite the language of the program, they will experience a predictive program for the rest of their lives. We know those people, right? The pessimists. They get always what they believe. They believe they're unlucky. They believe that circumstances always work out unfavorably toward them. when something is just about to happen and go their way, suddenly they lose it. And they believe it because they're creating it. Well, obviously, they don't want that consciously, do they? Most of the things that we want, we don't get because we're not those things. We haven't become those things. Aaron, do we have the first question? Can you pop it into the chat now from the email? As I want to get to some of your questions. If you're joining either on the live or on the replay and you have a specific question on the subject that I'm discussing, and I'm going to get to the 3 magic words at the end of this, so please do stay on. If you're liking this type of content, if it's making you feel good, subscribe for more of this. We do about 4 or 5 of these live streams a week. And I'm going to get to some of the questions now. Make sure my sound is off. All right, Aaron. Emily asked, what should I do if my manifestations aren't working? Well, Emily, no judgment here, but that belief in that they're not working has just cancelled out any manifestation that may be in process. See, we create the blocks. We create what I call by resistance manifestation. It is us that do it. It's not the universe. It is not God that is doing it to us. It is not a force in the world called luck or unluck that is doing it to us. No, we are creating everything in our experience, good, bad, or indifferent. If you're not seeing your manifestation, you don't believe it. Because I tell you, the moment you really believe in your manifestation and you know it, you move from belief to knowing, you're going to see it because the universe is just matching and mirroring back to you your state of consciousness, what you believe. Think of the universe as a massive big mirror. I've got a mirror behind me. If I look into that mirror, the mirror is never going to give me something that I'm not pointing toward it. Whatever is pointing toward the mirror is what's going to be reflected back every single time. This is what the universe does. It will just mirror back to you what you believe. If you believe that you can't ever really get well and that you can have limited health, that's exactly what the universe will mirror back to you. If you believe you can manifest an okay house but not a really nice one, that will be your experience. If you believe that you will always rent your home because you can't afford to ever buy one, you'll be renting for the rest of your life. The universe is not judging you. God is not judging you. No, we do it to ourselves. We create. We create the lack, the limitation, the conditions of our life. We either create it consciously or we create it unconsciously. Emily, you have to move from a place of wanting first to believing. And then I would say the next step is to know. And when you know something, manifestation becomes vastly more easy when you know something. And we've all had that before something manifests. And you know that you know that you know. And there isn't a person in the world that can talk you out of it. You have a knowing. I call this often intuition. It's that aspect of ourselves that before something manifests, we know it's going to happen. It's the most powerful form of manifestation is to know. You don't have to know something in order for you to manifest it. It is enough to believe, and from a place of believing to manifest something into your experience. But Emily, you have to believe it. Because if you don't believe it, the universe is going to mirror back to you exactly what you do believe. Perhaps it's the belief of, when is it going to come? I'm not seeing it. The universe, I'm not seeing it. Do you see how simplistic yet complicated we make it? I want you to say the universe is a giant mirror. That's all it is. It just mirrors back to me. You don't like what is in the mirror? Change what you're putting into it. You don't like the way you're dressed, you don't like the way your life looks, change it. You don't like the things that you're focused on, identify with different thoughts. See, you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness in which is perceiving them. You are infinite. You are limitless. You are eternal. What you are focused on is a body. What you are focused through is a mind. Now, I don't need to explain to everybody that mind, that body is finite, has a birth and a death, and yet you are the awareness that transcends birth and death, because you are infinite awareness that is having a specific experience that you call Aaron or John, Sarah, Jane, or anybody else. If that infinite awareness in which you are is and has no lack or limitation, that means the only lack and limitation that you can experience is that which you believe and you set for yourself. Do you see it? When you identify with not the little me, but the I am, that is the infinite awareness, then everything becomes possible in your experience. Because your identity has shifted from the lack to the abundance. Now, this is when vastly those that are manifesting that we look at and admire. And even the greatest manifester that you have perceived, even within it, there is lack and limitation, because it's not infinite. It's been solidified. It's become a particular amount of money. It might be $300 million that someone's manifested. Well, that has become limited, hasn't it? You are limitless. You can create limitlessly. There is no lack or limitation to who you are. When you identify with that aspect of who you are, it is the game changer. It is when you begin to understand that you aren't limited, that you are limitless. It's at that level of consciousness that people begin to manifest perfect health, even in the face of a death sentence, even in the face of mainstream medicine saying you've got 5 months to live, 3 weeks to live, a week to live. And I've worked with these people, I know it from experience, that have defined all of those statistics that have been told to them. And that's all they are, is statistics. Whenever someone gives a prognosis, medical diagnosis, or a prognosis, they're presuming according to statistical data of what they think may occur given those set of circumstances. Everything is energy. All illness, all matter is energy. Once we believed in a universe of matter, of solid forms. What quantum physics has taught us is that everything is just energy, oscillating, vibrating at different frequencies, including you. This is why, as an energetic being, you affect everything that responds to you, which eventually becomes the building blocks of your life. Say everything is energy, including me. Now, if you are energy, either oscillating, vibrating at different frequencies, where is your frequency? Where are you vibrating at? Is it to pessimism? Is it to negativity? Is it through bad luck? Is it through depression? Is it through anxiety? As infinite awareness, if you want to experience those things, it is your choice. Because all perspective and all suffering is a choice. If you want to identify with joy, abundance, peace, infinite love, you get to choose your frequency. Similar to a radio station, whatever you're attuned to, you are going to get the broadcast. It could be 89.1 that is broadcasting the love frequency. Well, that's what you're going to get. And if you tune your dial down somewhat to 79.1, and it's vibrating and it's broadcasting negativity, you're going to get that frequency. You're only ever going to get the frequency in which you're attuned to. If you're always attuned to negativity, what do you think you're going to get? If you're attuned to infinite love, if you're attuned to infinite abundance, that is what you're going to receive, because that is what you're tuned into. This is why in spiritual circles that energy and vibration should be a focus of ours. Within my work, what I'm always putting out is positivity. What I'm always putting out, either on Instagram or YouTube, is positive content. Why? Because I want to make you feel good. Why do I want to make you feel good? Because when you feel good, you are vibrating, you are attuned to that frequency, you will receive good. When you feel good, you're going to receive good. You've got to feel and experience it before you're going to experience it out there. You have to tap into it in here before you experience it out there. And I'll go back to an earlier point that I said, is that if you want happiness, only you can create it for yourself. You will never find it in acquisition. You will never find it lastingly and true happiness in another person. Sure, you might have a chemical reaction within your mind to what you think is love. Once that initial euphoria subsides, you will find that you feel the same way that you entered the relationship from. That's when often people discover that that relationship's wrong for them, they made a mistake, and then they go through this whole grieving process. You are the love. You are the abundance. You are the peace. You are everything that you seek out there. You're it. And only you can create it for yourself. Nobody can create it for you. There is no one outside of your experience that can create for you. They don't have that power. Only you possess it. And when I was depressed and when I identified with depression, there wasn't a drug in the world that could save me. There wasn't a person in the world that could save me. This is why those people, those empathetic parents that are trying to save somebody else, it never works. The Savior can only be found here. In you. What that gives us is this enormous opportunity, because what it shows us is this powerful truth that the Buddha shared, that Jesus shared, that the kingdom of heaven is within you, that the abundance is within you, that the love, the peace, the joy is within you, waiting for you to be created by you into your life, into your experience. Because you are the architect, you are the sculptor, you are the creator of your life. And only you. If you don't like the life you've created, you can change it anytime you want. And that is how powerful you are. Yeah, but I've got all of these things in my life, Paul, that I don't want. I've got illness, I can't, there's a huge one. I can't afford it. One of the biggest affirmations I hear people sharing of late is, I can't afford it. When we use affirmations like that, and we're obviously believing it, what do you think you're going to create for yourself? If you can get yourself to a place of believing in abundance, you can say 110,000 affirmations and none of them will work until you believe those affirmations. How do we get from a place of doubt to belief? What we focus on expands. The more you focus on, the more you impress upon your subconscious mind. Eventually, given enough exposure, you will believe it. And when you believe it, you will have it, because the universe is your mirror. It's all its job is to do, is to mirror back to you the reality that you have created. No one else is going to create peace for you. No one else is going to create abundance for you. No one else is going to create any other thing that you want them to, because it's not their job and they don't have that power. Only you do. Aaron, what is our next question? And I'm just going to the chat here. And hello there, Faye. She says, so true. Wish I had this knowledge in the first. It's great you've got it now. See, it doesn't matter how long, Faye, we've had a problem or we've believed. The point and the power is in the now moment. And we get to decide, because you're the only one deciding the beliefs that you're having. You're the only one that's deciding the thoughts that you're focused on. Here's an important understanding. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness that is perceiving them. So when we look at thoughts, a lot of the thoughts that we have are the same thoughts that other people have focused on, that other people have believed, and they've made their own by their belief and their identification with it. So you choose what you identify with. If you identify with yourself being unlovable, as being inadequate, well, that's what you're going to project. And don't you know that others easily are able to see and perceive what you're vibrating at? Come on, you know this. You walk into a room and there's a really negative person. If you're intuitive enough, if you're aware enough, you'll feel that person's energy. You feel it, you sense it, you can see it in their facial expressions, you can feel it by being near them, of what energy they're vibrating at. Likewise, if there's a positive person that's optimistic and energetic, you can hear the tone of their voice. You can feel within the heart space, intuition, how that person feels. You can look into their eye and you feel their energy. It's contagious. We all know those people. Positivity is contagious. And so is negativity. So is pessimism. When you talk to friends, to family, about all of the situations in the world, when you share articles and theories online and subscribe and believe in them, you empower those things by your consciousness, by your identification. I did a bit of a poll the other day in one of my workshops, and I asked, what is it the first thing people do when they wake up in the morning? Vastly, I got the same response. I go straight to the news. I used to do that. And what wasn't news was the fact that my news feed was pretty much the same every day. A murder, a tragedy, families being killed in a disaster, challenges with the economy, whatever was the manifestation and the specific situation, it was the same narrative that was playing out over and over again. How often do we focus on an event in the world that doesn't even affect our lives? And we give it all of our energy. We give it all of our attention. And then that same energy, in the form of pessimism, in the form of fear, in the form of doubt, in the form of terror, manifests in our life and begins to manifest and become the conditions of our life. Because you get what you focus on. What you focus on becomes your experience. What your experience becomes your life. And if we don't like it, we can change it. How do we change it? We have to change what we give our attention to. Step back for one moment and accept these two truths. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness that is perceiving them. You are the vastness of a sky, and the thoughts are clouds that pass you by, to use that analogy. You are infinite awareness having this human experience that you call you. That infinite awareness can focus on anything that's in this reality. You get to choose what you focus on. What you focus on expands. I would challenge you, if this is true, wouldn't you want to focus on what you want rather than what you don't? If what we focus on expands and becomes more predominant in our experience, wouldn't we want to focus on gratitude so that we have mirrored back to us more to be grateful for, that we have more things to be happy and grateful for? See, this is the power of a gratitude journal, of writing down what we're grateful for now. With a gratitude journal, you don't just have to write down what you're grateful for now. You can write down the things that haven't even manifested yet and show gratitude in the present moment. In fact, this is a prerequisite for all manifestation. If you want to manifest, you have to believe it's done before it has manifested. Because your belief creates. If you don't fully believe and accept it in here, you're never going to see it out there. Aaron, let me know our next question. Wonderful. Oh, here we go. Can QHHT heal, I believe it is, spinal cord injuries with complications? Before I even read the rest of the thing, there is no lack, there is no limitation, only that which we believe for ourselves, whether it is QHHT, quantum healing hypnosis technique, or another modality. There is no lack or limitation to anything in this reality. Thoughts create things. Everything is energy, including all illness, all belief, all physical manifestation. You are infinite awareness. The true I am to Danita, I think it is. I may have got that wrong. Apologies if I have. You are not your name. You are not your body. You are infinite awareness that is having that experience. The infinite awareness in which you are, there is no lack. There is no dis-ease. There is no illness. There is no thing that is lacking. It is infinite. That field, that level of consciousness in which we are, impresses upon what we call the mental plane. The mental plane will impress, some call it the subconscious, I call it the mental plane, subconscious realm, will impress upon what we call physical reality. Quantum physics will explain this in a vast more scientific way than I'm capable of doing it with the language that I have access to. Everything is energy. Everything is just vibrating and oscillating at different frequencies. A illness is a energetic manifestation that's solidified, that we come to accept as solid matter, and yet it's not. Everything can be changed. And I quote now Dolores Cannon, specifically around this question of quantum healing hypnosis technique, because she developed it. There is no lack and limitation except that which you set for yourself. How big can you believe is the question. How much are you willing to identify with your wholeness and that all things are possible and there is nothing that is limited to you? Now, if you believe that, and that is the prerequisite of this, you have to believe it. See, I can believe in that and it will work not for you because I don't create your reality, you do. But if you come to a place of believing that it's possible for you and you believe it, the universe will mirror that back to you and that will become your experience. There is no lack with this. There's not a level that we can get to and then that's the end of it. Now, of course, if you believe that, if you believe you can manifest little things but you can't manifest big things, that's exactly what you're going to get. You're going to get what you believe every time. That is why I challenge you to question our beliefs. And what are beliefs again? Beliefs are just what we have decided upon. They're a collection of thoughts that we have decided to believe in. And a belief can be changed. I used to believe that the divine was a male with anatomy. Seems funny to even say it now. And yet So many billions in the world believe that and never question that thought. They believe it wholeheartedly. And a belief can be changed. A belief can evolve. So you're never stuck. Aaron, do we have another question? Chris asks rather, can I use the law of attraction to improve your health? You can use the law of attraction to create anything in your life. The law of attraction is like the law of physics. It's a law. It will work for anybody that works it. It does not have favorites. Just like a magnet, it is going to draw to it that which is a match to it vibrationally. You will draw to you, you will mirror back to you what you are a match toward. If you want something, you need to become that thing. And then you watch it mirror back to you. When you start in the beginning, you probably won't believe it. You'll probably be saying it. You'll probably notice that it feels odd and strange and unfamiliar to you. Because that's the way it normally feels when we step out into the unknown, when we do something out of our comfort zone. It feels very unfamiliar to you. And then with time, you familiarize yourself to it. You get more comfortable. And then you begin to notice a shift in perception. You notice it feels more familiar. Those that want to manifest specific things in their life, say it's a car. Say you want to manifest a new car. How would you become familiar with the car that you want to manifest? Would you go to the dealership and test drive the car? Would you drive around in that for a while? Smell the leather seats, get comfortable with the settings, understand how that car works. Really get to familiarize yourself with it. So that when you visualize, it's far easier for you to visualize from experience. Of course, if you're identified with all of the negative thoughts, with all of the negative experiences past that you've had, you're probably going to just recreate for yourself what you did in the past. This is about getting clear about what we want. The law of attraction, Chris, will attract to you anything you believe. Because it is not that the law of attraction is powerful. It is that you are powerful. And it is a law simply responding to you. I challenge you to create a list of 5 to 10 things that you want to create in your life that you haven't yet manifested. And here's what this title is all about. 3 magic words. For example, someone mentioned health before. I want you to write in the form of 1 paragraph. I am abundantly healthy. I have a healthy body that functions absolutely perfectly. At the end of that statement, it could be as long and as short as you want it to be in your own language. At the end of that statement, I want you to write the 3 magic words. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bring every thing you are grateful for into the present Sure, you may have not yet experienced it, but you act and you impress upon the subconscious mind as if you have already received it. Remember, the subconscious mind does not know the difference between that which you visualize and that which is being manifested. When you believe it subconsciously, when you know it, when you fully believe and accept it, then you will experience it. That is why you have to use gratitude and I am statements rather than I want to, I wish, I hope. You have to believe it first. If you don't believe it, it will not work for you. 5 to 10 things. It might be a beautiful holiday in Italy. A month. That's one of the things on my list. I've never been to Italy. And on my gratitude list, I give gratitude every day for my beautiful month-long vacation in Italy. I'm familiarizing myself with the country. I'm studying the maps. I'm working out which roads I'm going to take. And I'm being grateful as if I've already experienced it. My gratitude is going out and it's attracting that to me. I don't even need to be focused on when it manifests. It will manifest when it's meant to manifest, in the perfect time and space that aligns perfectly with my schedule. It's going to be the same with health. It might be a new home. You might want to go to open for inspections and get familiar with the options. Get familiar with the options that you have. Yeah, but I can't pay my bills. Are you using gratitude when it comes to the bills coming in? Are you saying thank you when you pay it? Are you saying thank you, paid? Or you might want to put thank you to be paid if it hasn't been paid. Give gratitude for it. Give gratitude that you've been given and entrusted to have bills, that you have companies that are providing services to you that are bettering your life. Be grateful for those things. Bring gratitude to it. You shift around the conditions of your life by changing your thoughts toward those conditions. We all face the same conditions in life, don't we? And yet our experiences is vastly different because our perceptions are vastly different. And you can change yours, whatever they have been to this point. Aaron, we've got time for one more question. And if someone else has a specific question, we can ask. How are we going, Aaron? Cool. Mark asks, how can I overcome doubt and skepticism about the law of attraction? You need to live it. It needs to become a lifestyle for you. The more you listen to it, the more you read and reread the books, the more you are going to believe it. You are experiencing skepticism because that's probably the predominance of thoughts you've been having up until now. What you think about, what you give attention to, expands and becomes your experience. What are you spending your time focused on? See, I reread the same old books over and over and over and over and over again. I highlight them. I watch the pages begin to get crinkled in the corners. I've got digital copies of the same book. I've got audio copies of the same book. And I put it through my mind like I would a computer program. Repetition over and over and over again until it becomes me. Until I only see that. And then the skepticism is the thing that becomes what is unfamiliar to you. The doubt, the lack, the poverty, the limitation, whatever it is that you don't desire. You move from a place of resistance to allowing. When you allow it, then it will flow to you, because you are the only person that's ever, I emphasize that word, ever belonged to you. Yeah, but he did it to me, or they did it to me. No, it is the thoughts that you subscribe to that cause the suffering, not the event itself. This is why someone can be perceivably abused by a person. And the moment they forgive and relinquish those thoughts about that person, they're free. Because their perception has changed. Their power has been taken back. I did this with people in my life that I had given my power away to for a very long time, until I was ready to take it back. The moment I forgave was the moment I took that power back that I gave away through my own misjudgment and ignorance. Was the moment the power returned to me and I was free. I'm going to be doing another one of these lives tomorrow. If you've got more questions, please submit them to me via email. Aaron will write my email in the chat right now. It's paul@pwilliamsofficial.com. Always get to my emails. I'm always loving my interaction and helping you live your best life. It's what my teacher taught me to do, and my work and my goal is to pass that on to others. I can't wait to connect with you again tomorrow. I'll be continuing this message. Perhaps you'll have questions tomorrow. It's going to be about the same time. Sometimes it varies a little bit because I have one-on-one sessions with clients, but it'll be roughly about this time. I believe it's evening time in the United States, afternoon here in Australia. Thank you for tuning in today. I know this, when applied, will absolutely transform your life as it has mine. And I can't wait to connect with you again soon. Much love.